Hey, it's Roxy with Broadway Breakdown, and today I'm going to talk about a few songs that I think are maybe too overused or overdone for a vocal audition. And so maybe you want to shy away from them when you're auditioning. But if you use them and you nail your audition with them and you think these are great for my vocal range, then keep using them. Don't fix it if it's not broken. I just happen to think that if a lot of people are using them and they're very popular, then maybe you don't stand out as much in the crowd, and so maybe you should use something a little less overused. Again, just my opinion. So I think it's a safe bet to maybe not use something from the show you're going to audition with, because if a director has something in his or her mind and you don't really meet that sound in their head, then they're probably gonna think, oh no, that doesn't really match what I have in my head. So probably a safe bet to just go with something similar to the show, but not that show. Same thing, if it's really current on Broadway right now, probably shy away from that, because they have in their head right now like the latest cast recording, and it's like maybe they're playing it a lot right now because it is popular and it's fresh, and so that's all they can hear right now. And so you might want to stay away from a show currently right now on Broadway, and especially if it's something brand new. And then you probably want to stay away from a show that's very iconic or that's so synonymous with one person that that's all you can hear is that person singing that song. Best example, Don't Rain on My Parade. I mean, I think all anybody can ever hear with that song is Barbra Streisand. And that role, Funny Girl, Fanny Brice are just, it's so synonymous with Barbra Streisand. That show has really never been done before, since Barbra did it. There's never been a Broadway revival, and for a reason. I mean, she is Fanny Brice, but no one's really ever touched that role again. And so, singing Don't Rain on My Parade or I'm the Greatest Star, really anything from that show, it's really hard to get past her voice. Same thing with like maybe Somewhere Over the Rainbow and you're compared to Judy Garland. It's those big voices like that that are hard to get past. And think about it. I mean, there have been other Mama Roses, there have been other Elphabas or Evitas. And that's not to say that those are some big voices, Idina's and Patti LuPone's, and there's Bernadette Peters and Cole Wilkinson's. I mean, they've all made iconic roles in Wicked and Les Mis and Evita. But Barbra, that's a hard one to get past. So I'm going to list some shows and some songs that I just think, you might want to think, oh yeah, that is a show that's become a little too popular. But anyway, so Les Mis being probably the first. On My Own, I Dreamed a Dream, Empty Chairs and Empty Tables, Bring Him Home. I mean, Les Mis is a beautiful show. I love Les Mis. But I think all those songs have just become really overused. Because they are tried and true classics for a reason, but too many people sing them now. So I would tend to shy away from Les Mis. And a lot of people would probably say, don't ever sing an Andrew Lloyd Webber song or a Sondheim song for different reasons. Andrew Lloyd Webber is just so, all his shows are just so well known, so popular, and You know, you've got Phantom and Cats and Jesus Christ Superstar and Evita and Joseph. I mean, the list goes on. And Memory, Music of the Night, and, you know, just Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. And his music is beautiful. I love Andrew Lloyd Webber. I really do. But a lot of people do. So a lot of people, you know, draw from his shows. And they do make beautiful audition songs, but for a lot of people. Same thing with Sondheim. I mean, you know, Send in the Clowns and Pretty Women and Joanna and, you know, Being Alive. But again, I mean, he's written a lot of good stuff. So, you know, people want to sing them, but a lot of people want to sing them. So, and his music is hard, you know, it's tricky. It's got always a lot of little tricky patterns and notes right together, you know, words right. He's got like, it's hard to sing, I think. But, and so you don't know who you're going to get as accompanist, and people aren't always proficient, you know, sight reading his music. So for kind of a couple reasons, popular, and then it's kind of difficult sometimes to sing his music. So, but that's hard because you just knocked out two huge giants in the industry with just a huge bulk of music to say never sing Andrew Lloyd Webber and Sondheim. But you know, a lot of people are going to sing them. So, you know, chances are you may end up with a song that day that a lot of people are going to have. So, it's just saying. So, I also think from Jekyll and Hyde, This Is the Moment, or Someone Like You, beautiful, but real overdone by now. Also from Annie, Tomorrow and Maybe. Do I even have to say that? Isn't that kind of obvious? Moving on. From Chicago, All That Jazz. There are so many other, you know, songs in that vein, Fosse-esque, that you can use by now. That one's just, and oh my gosh, guys, stop with the Mr. Cellophane. That, why do you like that song anyway? Mr. Cellophane. It's so boring. The last thing you want to be in an audition is boring. You know, I mean, that little character, so no one wants, you know, not seen. And you want to be seen at an audition. So, I mean, anytime somebody auditions for me with that song, I'm like, no. You know, just pick something else more upbeat and, you know, that draws my attention to you. But Mr. Cellophane, I mean, cute little character in a show, but at an audition, just no. Just, there's better stuff than that. I have a whole video with best songs to audition with and why. I explain them. I break it down. Go watch that video. And then don't pick something inappropriate. I mean, there are songs that are funny within the context of the show. But when you take them outside of the show, not funny. You don't want people laughing at you. In the show, they're laughing with you. But when you sing them in an audition, you don't want them laughing at you. So, like Diva's Lament from Spam-A-Lot. That's a great role. I love Diva's Lament. I love Lady of the Lake. It's a great role. But, you know, that whole song is about, I can't wait to be on stage, and when is it my turn, and, you know. And if you have the chops to pull that off, great. But if you're singing it and you're just not maybe the director's type, you know, he's not hearing it in your voice, or he's just not hearing what he wants to hear, you know, he or she, and you keep going on and on about when is it my turn, when can I get on stage, you know, he or she may go, you're never getting on my stage, you know, so that may work against you. Same thing with something inappropriate, like, you know, Privilege to Pee from Urinetown. I mean, you know, in the show, fine, but, you know, not for an audition song. Same with something like Springtime for Hitler. In the show, yeah, it works, but not for an audition song. So just keep things like that in mind. Those are not good audition songs. So, all things, these are great songs I love all these shows, but they're all overdone now. Like Santa Fe, Mama Who Bore Me, Glory, Being Alive. I already mentioned that with Sondheim, but yeah, they're just, Good Morning Baltimore. They're just all really overdone by now. So you can find there's so many songs in those ranges, and those are all meat and potato songs for a lot of people. I mean, that's why they're picked, because they're like all in those great ranges, for people. But there's songs in those great ranges from like musicals that aren't as overused, so you can find them out there. But all of those songs are pretty, like, check them off the list. Shy, Once Upon a Mattress. I mean, I don't even know what it is about that song that girls gravitate to. I mean, it's got one good note. Because I'm shy. I mean, and other than that, what is it about that song? I mean, there's really nothing else about that song. It shows off one note in your range. There's so many other big belt songs that really can show off a huge range in your voice, lots of layers and tones and colorings, and you can act with, or even funny songs. But that's got like one note. It's a one note Johnny song. Pippin, Corner of the Sky. That's another one of those like kind of overused. It's a great song, but kind of overused. And then I think a lot of Sutton Foster songs. She's great. I mean, she's obviously on Broadway for, everything. But I think a lot of people gravitate towards her, like Gimme Gimme and Not for the Life of Me and Astonishing. And there's just a lot of her stuff. And, because she's got one of those voices too that, it's in a lot of people's range. And so they think, oh, it's classic and I can do it. But, again, a lot of people go there. So, but I think again, you can find something from other shows, lesser known shows, less popular shows that are just as good. And then one little song I want to mention, that I love this song. She Used to Be Mine from Waitress. Motorcycle, sorry about that. I don't know if you could hear that. Very loud motorcycle. Yeah, this song, and this applies to any song you're doing. I think if you don't have a real connection to that song, you may be able to handle that song technically. Any song, your voice may be able to handle it technically. But if you can't connect with a song emotionally, it reads in your voice. Like, who's ever casting a director, whoever's on that panel and has a say in casting, they can read that in your voice if they feel they didn't have a true connection and it came out with their acting. So She Used to Be Mine, when I hear really young voices sing She Used to Be Mine, I'm thinking, they don't know the meaning of that song. A 14-year-old, she didn't live long enough to have lost a girl. What, you lost a 6-year-old? I mean, no. It's like, you gotta have had a life, to have felt like, I lost my young self, my really young, that edgy, young, kind of rebel girl self. I want that girl back. I've kind of become a shadow of my former self. So I think you need to have lost a little piece of yourself to know what that song is about. And that's true, like I say, for any song. You need to have some kind of connection with that song to feel, passionate about singing that song. So even though a song may be well within your technical range, your vocal range, if you don't feel like you have a little bit of, something with that song, a little bit of connection or passion about singing it, then I would steer clear of it, I mean, not that, you're not a witch from, Oz or whatever, not that we all know what it's like to be Elphaba. and you're still singing Defying Gravity, but there is something universal in the fact that we don't know, you know, people don't always see us for who we want them to see us as. You know, don't judge a book by its cover, or you know, we want to reach for something bigger. You know, we don't want people holding us down to reach our dreams. I mean, that's a universal quality, or, you know, universal feeling. So, you know, and again, like I said, that was kind of an overused song, but if you're still singing Defying Gravity, I get you. You get the meaning of that song. I'm just saying, She Used to Be Mine. That's kind of one of those songs. Think about it. So that's my list. Take it for what it's worth, just my opinion. And, you know, good luck or break a leg on your vocal auditions. And I'll see you in my next video. All right.